Previously on Coach Greg.
If I were to bet, I would say realistically 19% should be his goal. Do you not see how the math is not mathing? The beauty of this is it didn't work. I wanted to save the results to the end, but I cannot wait. The diet should get significantly easier, hanging around with your brother and your coach, but does it? Let us see.
For Festival Week, we're switching to a full body split, which will give us a few extra rest days, just so we're not spending the entire festival week in the gym.
What kind of festival are we talking here? Are we partying harder than last time? It's a movie festival, cinema. You sit down and you look at a screen. What did they change it to? Monday, full body, Tuesday, full body. Why are we training the same exact workout 2 days in a row? The same body part, full body, 2 days in a row. I do full body, and guess how often I do it? Every 3 to 4 days. 2 days a week, max. They're training 4 days a week. Double what Coach Greg does. Now, if they're actually going to do a full body, or if you're going to do a full body, this is what you need to do. You need to pay attention. Every other day. Max, you just train your full body. Hard. To failure. The next day, why are we repeating this? Muscles grow when you're resting. And so if you're training on Monday, Tuesday off. You could, of course, go in and do some cardio, which I would be programming if I was coaching these individuals. And then on Wednesday, you can repeat it. And so you're at the festival. Monday, you train full body. Tuesday, you do cardio. 45 minutes, perhaps an hour. Wednesday, full body workout. The next day, cardio, 45 minutes to an hour yet again. Now, if you want to go easy, perhaps 1 day a week, and you only want to do 30 minutes of cardio, or maybe even you have a day off, that's okay. 1 day a week. The rest, you're doing something. And so what do you think is more important? On a cut, to train your full body 4 days a week, or to get in some cardio? Which do you think takes priority? And so why are we pushing ourselves in the gym this much? You see that? Saturday and Sunday, movies. This is what people do when they don't like training, when you don't like the gym. Imagine right now, you're passionate about fitness and your coach programs in Saturday and Sunday off from the gym. You don't like the gym. The gym is torture to you because why would you want to avoid doing the thing that you love for 2 days? Imagine if your girlfriend said, no sexy time on Saturdays and Sundays. What would you think? You think, why would you do that? If anything, I want to do it more. Twice on Saturdays and twice on Sunday. The same thing should be applying to you training and going to the gym, doing cardio. If you enjoy it, you do it more. And so, for example, when Coach Greg goes on vacation, perhaps I'm in Mexico, wherever, you think I'm taking a week off of my bike, that I'm not going to train? Oh, I just want to party now? Make it make sense. When you're on vacation, you do more of the things that you love. I understand you want to eat more. Hey, we all love to eat. But why would you want to move less?
Notice that my testosterone is kind of on the low side. What would be some reasons for that?
Wait till Jeff's brother discovers Ferula Max. Somebody with testosterone levels in the 400 or so, expect to be over 1,000. You heard it here first. I can't wait to see you try it. Many of you are probably thinking, there's no way. Would I lie to you? Would I make this shit up? Are you ready for the best new supplement in decades? How long before you're convinced that I have the best supplement company in the world, the most innovative, the best supplements, the best quality? How many more days, weeks, months is it going to take? I'm going to say 2. You're almost there. Wait till you try this and wait till the videos come out where everyone is praising how amazing it actually was. And years from now, we can look back and you can again say, Coach Greg was always right. Code Greg for your discount. Do you know how easy it would be for him to get down to 19% while having testosterone levels that are actually higher? Oftentimes when you cut down, when you're dieting, your testosterone levels, they can decrease. Now for Brad, who was obese prior to this, his testosterone levels could actually go up. Obesity is a factor that causes your testosterone to be suppressed. And so by not being obese and being healthy, his testosterone levels could actually rise. Of course, you can still take your test boosters. You can do all of these things. But if you want the best testosterone levels in the world, something similar to if you went to Algo RX and took enclomiphene. Of course, you can take enclomiphene if you don't want GLP max and you want to get an GLP, like an actual GLP, an injectable to help you to lose weight, to get rid of the food noise. You can, of course, go to Algo RX where it's from compounding pharmacies. Doctors prescribe it to you. It's not some research chemical bullshit. And if you want the best peptide company in the world, and so please compare prices so that when you purchase this and use code Greg for 10% off, you truly know the deal that you're getting, you appreciate it, and tell your friends. Click the link in the description.
He also added in some running, all on his own, something I couldn't imagine Brad doing before. And I could tell his overall drive was much higher too.
Yeah, see, running is one of the worst things you can do for building muscle. It makes it so hard to recover. I've stated this in a number of videos for years. It's very, very difficult to be a runner and a bodybuilder type guy at the same time. Notice how I'm racing bikes. I'm not running. I can run, but I don't want to lose more muscle. Also hard on the hips, on the joints, cycling, so much easier. And so, for example, going for a 12.5-minute run, it's very difficult. It's going to be hard for him. He's not in tremendous condition. And so much easier cardio for him would be cycling. He could go for hours, probably be fine, and still get his training into the gym.
Somebody in here got pancakes.
What?
He said, did you order pancakes?
I didn't get pancakes.
No?
You told me I had to eat healthy.
Clearly, they don't have a copy of Coach Greg's cookbook where there's many different recipes for protein pancakes that are extremely healthy. And so imagine thinking you have to cut out pancakes of all things because you're on a diet. If you want to have the delicious meals you've always had, but make them lower in calories, high in protein, please get the cookbook. Maybe you can't afford Coach Greg to coach you, but you can at least have my book instead.
Brad's getting closer to his goal too. In men, your abs usually become visible at around 20% body fat, and his are just starting to poke through for the first time in his adult life.
Yeah, no. This isn't even close to 20% body fat. I'm going to say he's lucky to be at 25% body fat. I don't think he's lost any body fat at all since his last check-in. We're at day, 115? I'm not seeing the changes. Guys, is it just me? Remember, my laser eyes, they do seem to work.
Going into our final check-in, I'm feeling good about the cut. I'm a little nervous, but I do think I'm going to hit my target.
Because honestly, Jeff's Nippards upper body, it looks almost like it's under 9%. The problem is he doesn't have the quad. So in comparison, for example, this is Coach Greg at 9%. And the difference between a Jeff Nippa and a Coach Greg would be in the quads. There's slightly more definition in Coach Greg's quads than in Jeff's. Not saying that Jeff can't get leaner. Jeff has been shredded in the past. But year-round, our body fat's very similar to my off-season every day of the week in the studio without trying is equal to Jeff on a 115-day cut using macro factor to make it better. The cardio makes it easier. If Jeff did the same cardio as Coach Greg, he would be at 9% year-round.
Fat loss can sometimes take longer than you expect, even if you do everything right. I wanted to gently prepare him for the possibility that he might not quite reach 19% tomorrow.
He's lost 8 pounds in 114 days, and he says that he's never cheated. One of the things is wrong. Either macro factor doesn't know how to track calories, or he doesn't know how to use macro factor, or in fact eats in secret. Which do you think it is? He's lost 8.5 pounds in about 16 weeks. After the first month, he'd lost 6.5 pounds of fat and put on 2 pounds of muscle, but yet he's only now down 8.5 pounds. What do you think that is from? Do you think his metabolism is broken? Perhaps he has PCOS, perhaps he has a woman's disorder. None of this is a thing. You can have all of those things. You can have any diseases you want. If you eat a calorie deficit, you're losing weight. It doesn't matter. The Rock knows it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
When you don't lose weight for this long, it's because you're eating too much food or not burning enough of it off.
9.0! Okay, so I started at 12, and now I'm down to 9. It doesn't sound like much, but it honestly wasn't easy, man. It's crazy.
And so it took him 17 weeks to drop 3%. The mini cut essentially got extended For 17 weeks in total, 4 weeks he cut down and lost 2.2 pounds of muscle and about 1.6 pounds of fat. And then he went on a 3-week break, a diet break, still eating only 2,200 calories, which to me is a diet. Trust me, if I'm eating 2,200 calories, frankly, 3,200 calories, that is a cut. And then he continued to diet for an extended amount of time and was able to lose 3% throughout. How many of you would be satisfied with that? 3% body fat, if he pushed hard, is 3 weeks. Slow is 6 weeks. It took him 17. But that is thanks to science.
And what the heck happened to my testosterone levels? My testosterone levels actually dropped by 21%.
And so, Jeff, hit me up despite our differences. Hey, I can hook you up with some Ferula. You can perhaps do your DEXA test and all these things. And you can discover that your testosterone can be over 1,000 naturally. You can, of course, go to AlgaRx to get in clomiphene to boost your testosterone. You can go to your doctor and get HRT, or you can just, Frulamax, natural.
Brad's blood work was in the pre-diabetic range. By the end of the challenge, all of his glucose markers dropped into the normal, healthy range. His lifestyle changes essentially reversed his pre-diabetes.
That just goes to show that even if you don't lose a lot of weight, it's still beneficial. To become healthier, which Jeff is explaining in his video, that is of most important. Aesthetically, sure, you want to have abs. You want to get down to 19%. But more important than that is being healthy and living a long and healthy life.
I honestly wasn't sure he was quite down to that 19% target he was shooting for.
Give me a bicep. You're looking way leaner, bro. Let's see the back.
Jeff Nipper just said you're looking way leaner. This is insane. Now, if we're comparing it to a year ago when he was at 36%, yes. But if we're comparing it to after the first month of dieting, it's not a big change. Does anyone think this is 19%? I mean, you've seen my videos. What do you think that I would say his body fat actually is? Like, just use your imagination and guess, what percent does he look like? Remember, he was 27.3 in his last test. Does he look like he's down to 19? If he was at 19% body fat, he would have had to have put on, 13 pounds of muscle to do so. Does he look like he just got jacked? His bench press, it went down 20 pounds. He's 8.5 pounds lighter after 121 days. Let's see.
Oh, you were dead on. 26.6. Good job, man.
Now, if you had hired me for coaching and after a month you were at 27.3%, and then 13 weeks later you were down 1%, would you say, great job, coach, we did it? Or would you be a little bit disappointed? I don't like when people lie. I don't like when people fake things when they pretend. And to act like you're excited about losing 1% after dieting for 13 weeks, to me, this is a lie. It's bullshit. And you can say what you want about me. You can say I'm a bad person, but I'm simply telling you the truth. If he had done an amazing job and dieted and stuck to his plan, I would have said, bravo, this is exquisite. But seeing a guy cut down for 122 days. This is a 17-week diet. He went from 30.5% to 26.6%. Is 4% in 17 weeks. It's not a lot, especially when you consider how much he had lost in the first month. Is it possible that the DEXA just got it wrong? Maybe he's 19%. Well, maybe. I mean, it's possible. The odds are greater than 1 in a billion that he's actually at 19% and the DEXA got it wrong. But based on my laser eyes, looking at his physique, looking at the roundness of the face, he's over 25%. I'm sorry, it's not that lean. Now, remember, although he's obese, which means he's fat, oh my God, shoot the messenger. He said he's fat and obese. It's not my fault that he's fat and obese. I'm just telling you what it actually is. As a man, if you're over 25% body fat, that is obese. It's obesity. Now, based on the height and weight and BMI, he's perfectly healthy. I mean, look at this guy. Let's do the BMI to show you how BMI isn't always right. And remember, what's more important on the BMI scale? Is it the BMI or is it body fat? If somebody's trying to decide if you're fat or not, do you care more about BMI or body fat to decide how fat someone is? Body fat or BMI? How many times do I have to say that before you clue in? Body fat to decide how fat someone is. If somebody's fat, body fat. 24.9. That falls within the healthy weight range, 18.5 to 24.9, and is very close to the upper end of that range. So there you have it. He's perfectly healthy, according to BMI. What this quantifies, if you are into, giving measurements to bodies, is this is skinny fat. His BMI, it's perfectly healthy, but yet his body fat is high because he has a very low amount of muscle. Now, in comparison, I'm the exact same height as him. I'm 5'6" manlet, just like he is. Except I'm 189 pounds. And so the difference in our body mass is 63 pounds. And so on the BMI scale, I'm obese, but yet my body fat is only 9%. When I talk about people being obese or not obese, I normally go with body fat. Does that make sense?
26.6% body fat. Down about 9 pounds for this fat loss challenge. And while you may not always see a gigantic visual change,
Yeah, I see a change. He's down 9 pounds. It's still 4%. It's better than nothing. The problem is he lost almost all of it in the first month. And so what happened in the next 3 months? That is all I'm saying.
while I edit this video, you can keep going if you want. Whenever you feel ready to do another DEXA scan, let me know and we can do one more final check-in for you before I upload.
Awesome. And so he's extending the test yet again. And so now he's really ready to lock in. He really wants 19%. I'm sure he's going to reduce his calories. He's going to start doing more cardio, probably take up cycling, maybe add in my cookbook, and we will see just how much body fat he can lose. Now, frankly, in a month or so, I can't expect him to get down to 19%, but can he get close?
More cardio, working out harder, eating less calories, and my body's like, this is a good spot to just stay at.
4 weeks after this, he's added in more cardio, he's working out harder, and he's reduced his calories. We definitely should see major changes in his body fat.
You can only do that for so long. Like, thermodynamics always wins.
Yeah.
So, like, you are gonna see it start to drop off, I promise.
Bro, it's science, thermodynamics.
In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics.
Do you think that you gained 2 pounds of fat?
I don't know, yeah.
No, it's physiologically impossible.
And so Jeff says, look, there's no way you gain 2 pounds of fat, even though his weigh-in was up 2 pounds. Remember, I always say median weight. That way it gets rid of the highs and the lows, the fluctuations. For example, you wake up at 4 something in the morning, perhaps you're a bit heavier because you didn't sleep as much. But here is one thing that Jeff, he doesn't want to mention because he is talking to his brother. It's very difficult to be honest with people that you love and care about. You don't want to hurt their feelings, but I'll do it for him. He's cheating on his diet. He's not actually locking in. If he was, Jeff would be correct because Jeff is correct. The science isn't wrong. It's calories in, calories out. Your body can't just stall. It can't just not lose any weight. Nope. I'm training harder, doing more cardio, and eating less, and the scale it went up by 2 pounds because God freaking hates me. No, God does not hate you. Trust me.
One thing I realized way too late in the challenge was that Brad was only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. Turns out he had a full-blown sleep disorder, which I think was definitely holding him back.
I always tell my clients to tell me everything, and I, week to week, will ask them, how is your sleep? There's no way I would go 17 weeks without discovering that somebody had a sleep disorder. Imagine that. Now, if you're struggling with your sleep, you get delta sleep, and the reason for that is because the more you're awake, the harder it is to stop eating. When you're sleeping, you can't be eating. And so if you sleep 8 hours a day instead of 5, that's 3 extra hours. You don't need to worry about eating. And so if you're only sleeping 5 hours a night, what do you think happens when no one's around? At 2 in the morning. Like I've seen people come over. I've had roommates, their girlfriends, they're sleeping over. And I'll go in the fridge to get some juice. And I'm like thinking, why is this girl up eating my ice cream? These are also people that I've coached. I'm not going to say their names. I don't need to embarrass them. But I've seen it. In the middle of the night with no one looking around, they're cheating and they're not telling you. You think every client I've ever had told me everything about their diet? Do you know how many times somebody's boyfriend or girlfriend or sister or friend told me what they were actually eating?
Just keep training hard, but you can still build muscle as you lose fat, but you gotta train hard,
And that's fine. I'm happy with the training. It just doesn't feel like the percentage is coming down.
Imagine if Jeff had said, you know what? You should ask for a sponsorship from Coach Greg. You could take GO2 Max to improve your cardio. You could take Turk Builder Max, give you more energy. The Delta Sleep, you could eat Kaiko bars on your diet. Improve your testosterone with G-Test Platinum, the Ferula Max. You could get Blue Lobster, go to the gym with more energy than ever before. The creatine, the pre-pumps, all the different things. That's just a small sample of what we have at HTLT Supplements. And so imagine if Brad were sponsored by HTLT Supplements. Now, if you want to get sponsored, there's a link right there. You click on it and you apply for sponsorship or to be an ambassador. We're looking for you. The best, most innovative supplement company in the world. Wait till you hear the announcements of the stores we're in next. It is going to change the game. Stay tuned. I'm so excited.
He was pushing just as hard as ever. That let me know that at this point, he had truly made lifting a habit, something that he could do for life, not just for a video.
He doesn't need a coach in the gym. He's already training hard. He's locked in. But what he needs is a diet. He needs to be full, satisfied, and he needs to get some sleep so he stops cheating. That is all he needs.
That must have boosted his confidence because after this session, Brad said, all right, I'm ready for another DEXA scan.
This is wild that this is from February. And so he said to keep this a secret under wraps since then. I'm really genuinely curious, how has he done since February? Has he in fact continued to get shredded? Did he reach his 19%? Or did he go in the opposite direction? Hopefully he's at 19%.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you care about what this number is? 10 being like, it's really, really important to me. 0 being like, I could not care less.
I'll give you like a 1.
It's cope. It's a lie. Like, just be honest. A 5. A 5 would be, he doesn't really care, but kinda. If he didn't care, he wouldn't have asked Jeff to extend the diet so that he could try to get down to 19%. He knows in his heart of hearts that he has cheated on his diet. He knows he's not 19%. And so when he says, how much do you care? 10, you care a lot. 1, you don't care at all. 1, it's not possible. That is a bullshit.
I felt the healthiest. Mobility is way better. Sleep is even improving. Every marker of my life has gone up.
Yeah.
He looks significantly leaner here. I'm using my laser eyes, and although he's wearing clothing, you can see it. Remember the chubbiness he had in his cheeks? It's gone. I expect that the number to go down dramatically from, 26.6%? It's significantly lower than that. Look at his physique.
His body fat percentage came back at, still 26%.
Does anyone think he's still 26.5%? You see it in his face. He's clearly lost weight. Jeff Nippards did not show his weight on that scale. I would love to know how much he lost. Because if he's the same body fat percentage after dieting for 4 to 6 more weeks, whatever, then every single pound he lost is muscle. How many people think that he just went on a muscle diet? He ate no protein and he just cut off all his muscle and that's all that happened? Or how many people think that maybe, just maybe, who knows, the DEXA scam's a scam and it's wrong and it doesn't actually know how to determine body fat, it's guessing? Did Jeff Nippards buy a DEXA scam for hundreds of thousands of dollars and it's useless? Is it possible that Coach Greg's laser eyes are better than a DEXA scam? That what he's saying has been right all along? What? But what would that mean? No, I know what we do. Let's perpetuate the lie. Let's still tell the world that the DEXA scam is accurate. How will they know? How will they know? How will they know? They won't. We'll keep it a secret. Just like Coach Greg's real voice. They don't need to know.
I could tell he felt a bit disappointed he didn't hit that 19% target for the video, but it's kind of not fair.
How much does that number matter? 1, it doesn't matter. Receives the number, is upset. It's closer to a 10 than a 1. That's why I said he should be saying it's a 5. To help out Brad, the DEXA scam is a scam. Just because it says you're 26.5%, it doesn't mean that that's what you actually are. You're actually lower than that. And I'm telling you because I used my laser eyes to tell you you did in fact lose body fat during those final 6 weeks. And so how should you spend your money? If you want a DEXA scam for fun, by all means. If you want to get the Macro Factor app, I think you have better money spent on the Macro Factor app. than on the DEXA scam. The DEXA scam is a scam. The macro factor app, at least it can work. It can help you track how many calories are in the foods that you're eating. And so if you don't know how to track calories, the macro factor app can certainly help. And so you can use a Jeff Nippards code. I don't have a code. Just get it whenever you want.
I wasn't sure if you were still keeping up with everything.
Yeah, I've been feeling motivated lately, so getting back at it.
Are we going to do another one?
Another experiment?
Part 3?
And so imagine if phase 3 is Brad using HTLT supplements, including Ferula Max, and we will now see the changes that will be made. And rather than the DEXA scam, we will use something else. Imagine the possibilities. Everything's a secret for now. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algo. Don't forget to go to AlgoRx for all your peptide and all those types of needs. If you'd like to be sponsored, ambassador, sell the supplements into your stores, or have the best coach in the world, click the link in description. And until next time, I am out.